Welcome to Wine Road, the wine, when, and where of Northern Sonoma County. I'm your host, Marcy Gordon, with Beth Costa, Executive Director of the Wine Road.
Thanks to Ron Rubin, we're able to keep our podcast rolling along. The financial support of River Road Family Vineyards and Winery allows us to keep recording, keep sipping wine, and keep sharing stories with our listeners. Check out their website at riverroadvineyards.com and explore their Chardonnay, as well as a finely crafted Pinot Noir from the Russian River Valley. That's riverroadvineyards.com. And hey, thanks, Ron, for allowing us to make this show happen.
Welcome to Wine Road, episode 251. Today our guest is Virginie Boone. She is a local writer. I would say wine writer extraordinaire, who's probably
that's
been
what I was going to say.
in every wine publication of merit that you've read, or maybe you haven't read. But she's here, and she's also the podcast host for The Good Stuff with Karissa Kruse for the Sonoma County Wine Growers. Welcome, Virginie.
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited that you're here. I was on your show, I don't know, a month or so ago, and I was telling you earlier, just my favorite show I've ever done. You guys are so casual, and you know what you're talking about, and you make the...
Post to us.
I wing it. It was just so, I just had so much fun. It was a great show.
I'm glad. We loved having you on. I mean, we feel really lucky that we get to do it together. I mean, It is nice to have a co-host.
Yes,
I'm sure you two can agree. Because we bring different perspectives. We have different relationships with the guests that come on.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's nice. It lessens a little bit of the load, I would say, too.
I also love the blog that you write that is also just for the Sonoma County Wine Growers. It goes out to, obviously, the public everywhere, The Good Stuff. You just come up with so many great topics, and I'm sure you and Chris have brainstormed different things, but I just feel like you have such a broad range of things you've covered in that.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's just like my mind is broad, or my attention is easily easily drawn to lots of different places. But it also speaks to sort of why we love Sonoma County so much, right? I mean, you can talk about a trend that's going on in food. You can talk about somebody who's been here for 100 years, somebody whose family has been here for 100 years.
Yeah.
And all the different twists and turns that it took for them to remain in agriculture. You can talk about the sort of events that happen.
There's a lot of storylines here.
There's a lot of storylines, and then sometimes there's just things that are relevant to the larger culture that you can kind of bring wine into. I mean, I had a lot of fun writing something recently that was just about like wine commercials.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it used to be a thing, right?
Yeah.
You don't see them as much
Martini
anymore.
And Pratti, and yes, there's so many.
But it was also with the death of Catherine O'Hara. It's like the Moira Rose, the greatest wine commercial ever, created, fictional, but
so on point.
Should it be fictional? Yeah, exactly. And it just got me thinking to, the crazy Orson Welles stuff and all these other Riunite on Ice. I mean, there were
the little old winemaker, me.
Right.
Who played that?
Oh, that's a good question.
It was like a Burl Ives-ish character.
Yeah.
I can see it, but I don't know who it was.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting to go down like a road like that. So that's something that's not specific to Sonoma County, but certainly touches on.
Yeah, definitely. I used to get a lot of Chillicella because my given name is Marcella. So there was a Put It on Ice Chillicella. It was a wine commercial. And people always say that. Do you remember that?
No,
I don't remember that.
Okay, we'll Google it later.
We'll Google it.
But yeah.
So was that the product?
And Boone's Farm, your wine,
Boone's Farm was a big deal.
The winery named after Virginie. So.
Yes. My family. Yeah, that's my family legacy. No, I have nothing to do with that. But it's just interesting to think about all the different ways that wine just touches everything, right? Yep. Is really what it comes down to. And so that's makes it a fun thing to write about, fun thing to talk about, fun thing to go out and enjoy.
Did you always write about wine? Or how did this start?
She started as a travel writer.
Yes, I did.
Here in Sonoma County?
No, I sort of got my dream job early on to work for Lonely Planet, which was a guidebook company.
That's a big deal.
I run and operate at the time, founded by a English couple, who were classic kind of hippie era, like just travel the world with a backpack on the cheap, and they were some of the first people to write guidebooks about places in Africa or places in Asia, Southeast Asia that a lot of Europeans and certainly Americans had not been to. Right. So that became a very successful guidebook company over time. And so it was they ended up being based in Melbourne, Australia, but they had an office in Oakland. That was their American kind of outpost. So I got hired early on to kind of help them be a little more digital.
Oh, yeah.
We started licensing a lot of the content, like, from print books into digital, like some sort of digital formats that could be used by, at the time, I think it was people like Travelocity or Yahoo they needed content.
They need the content,
right? They had search engines and they had kind of news sites, but like they needed people to come and be able to read something, stick around,
Right.
all that era. So it's actually a pretty interesting thing to be doing, like thinking about all that.
Yeah.
And we also had one of the really early kind of pre-social media community hubs called the Thorn Tree. And the
I
Thorn
remember
Tree.
the Thorn Tree, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Thorn Tree
I
was
knew
like...
a lot of people who worked at in Oakland.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
We
like
probably...
in the sales, Heather Harrison. Do you know Heather
I
Harrison?
know the name, yeah.
Because I used to work in publishing and books as well. And, so Lonely Planet was like
A big deal.
the big
Yeah.
deal.
Right.
Well, it was a
Definitely.
cool office. I mean,
Yeah.
there were lots of editors, lots of salespeople, as you said. We were sort of like the E team, so the beginning of like an electronic digital focus. But there were cartographers.
Oh,
There were
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
book designers.
Right.
There were, every
Old
level.
school.
Old school, like a really, really fun place to work with amazing creative people.
Yeah, because they're just so creative, right?
Yeah, and in different ways, but collaborating. So I always loved spending time with cartographers because I do love maps, and I think like those old school guidebooks, like the maps were everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that ability to draw, like hand draw, essentially
Yeah.
maps over time and update them and keep them relevant.
Right.
It's
I was
pretty
saying that
fascinating.
yesterday. It's something we've lost is nobody has to ask someone for directions anymore.
That's true.
Remember, you always ask
yeah.
people for directions and being able to, you go 3 lights down and then there's going to be a curve and then keep going and how we got anywhere.
Well, the funny
it
thing
was-
is, I still do because
still give directions.
No, well, I do sometimes, but I have to actually ask for directions a lot when I'm traveling in places like Spain, which I do cover, and the Google Maps will send me to really
Oh, where you don't want to be.
like very wrong.
Yeah.
The winery that I need to visit is across the village behind some back roads, but it will just keep sending me to like.
Yeah, it hasn't perfected
a dead
it
end,
yet.
right?
This brick wall.
in a village where only cats
Keep going to a gift shop
live there.
that's
Only-
been paid
yeah.
for by Google to
Only
replace
cats.
it.
Yeah, that hasn't
I like
happened yet. But yeah, I mean, I do find myself in these little places. I'm like, please help.
And that's how you get a real experience.
It is. Yeah. So you still need to ask people.
Well, that's
things.
good.
Yeah.
But travel writing seems to be a real lost leader path to wine. Hugh Johnson started as a travel writer. Jancis Robinson started as a travel writer. I think there's a lot of people they don't, a lot of wine writers don't have credentials, right? They don't, because we're writers and we
Yeah.
don't really see that as being as germane as being knowing how to tell a story.
Right.
But travel writing, sense of place, all the aspects that go into travel writing really lead really well into wine.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, there's so many places in the world that you can travel to that do have a wine aspect or
Right.
something similar to it. Certainly, the food angle is everywhere.
Yeah, food and wine. That's through your endpoint. That's
Yeah.
how I started too.
So if you're going to Spain to write about wine, who are you writing for?
So that is my work that I do for Jeb Dunnuck.
Okay.
So prominent national critic who has a subscription-based critic set of reviews. And so I've been working for him it's almost coming up on 2 years now, and I've been tasked with some places in California that were not getting a lot of coverage before, as well as Washington State. And then I cover Spain, which is a large beat
a lot.
to
Yeah,
cover.
that's a lot.
And,
It's a country.
And then Argentina,
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
which I love. And actually, the funny thing, not so funny thing about Argentina is like I've long had an obsession with Argentina, even though I had not been there at the time of this long obsession. And I was asked actually during my Lonely Planet days to write a guidebook to Argentina. And it was like my dream come true, right? Like, oh my God, finally my obsession is going to be,
Here it is.
met. And but it was at a point in time, which happens a lot in Argentina, unfortunately, but like the massive financial crisis. And so everything kind of like went to turmoil, and it just wasn't a good time.
Not going to be traveling there, visiting.
To be writing a guidebook that, and it would have been writing about everything.
Right.
But, sometimes it just needed to be waited out. So I never actually got to do that. Mm-hmm. So now getting to go to Argentina, in person.
And now the wine industry is so developed there. So.
Yes, very developed. Yeah, no, it's fascinating. I went last year in November, and I'm about to, I'll be there a couple weeks in spring.
Wow.
Coming up. So
nice. I need someone to carry luggage.
Yes. I travel light. I try to travel light. It will.
Okay, so just to carry your hem behind you.
Yeah, right. Nice. It will be. It will still be harvest, which will be nice to be there during harvest. I love Argentina
because it's their summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fall. It's starting to be there.
Yeah.
It will be their fall.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had many beats. Like with wine enthusiasts, it was Sonoma and Napa and
true.
And I mean, where haven't you covered would be a better question.
Well, the ironic thing is that I speak fluent French and have a lot of family in France, but I've never covered France. Technically, I mean, I've written guidebooks in France.
Kept you away from there.
But I do find that my French language skills help in Spain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of winemakers that have certainly trained in France or spent time working in wineries in France. And so when there are times where my Spanish is not quite good enough and their English is not quite good enough or they're comfortable with, it's like, I'll always ask, do you speak French? And if their eyes light up, and then we just go into French.
What a relief, yeah.
There's a lot of similarities between Spanish and English or Italian and French. I mean, you can kind of pick it out if you know one or the other. So.
It's helped. Helped, yeah.
Yeah, good helps with those directions.
Yeah, that's just Google. Yeah, boo, Google. Improve your maps.
Yeah.
Like segue from travel writing into wine writing, and did you grow up in this area or you have family in France? How did you end up in Sonoma?
Well, I ended up, so I'm an Army brat. And so my dad was stationed kind of all over the world. And he met my mom in Europe. She grew up in France. They got married. He got stationed. The first place she ever came to in America was Alabama in the 50s. And,
wow.
George Wallace era.
That was an eye-opening experience.
Yeah, she was pretty shocked and dismayed by some of the racism that she saw, having grown up mostly in Paris. I mean, it had its own challenges, but that was not one of them. So, so they traveled around quite a lot. They were in Alabama, they were in Baltimore for some time, and then kind of the bulk of their time around when I was born, they were in Germany. So I was born in Germany.
Oh.
And then, which, was complicated for my French mother who had grown up.
Oh, yeah.
That's
World
one
War
that
II.
if you know Italian and French and Spanish isn't going to help you.
Yeah, it's not going to help me. No, it's not going to help me. So, born there, but then, thankfully, long story short, but my dad got stationed in the Presidio in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And he was kind of at the tail end of his career at that point. 3 tours of Vietnam, not fun.
Oh.
So ready to kind of call it quits after that. And my mom was like, San Francisco, I'm never going anywhere else.
Yeah, that's a beautiful place to end up.
Station.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I benefited from that. Like I missed all the other crazy places and the travel, and we settled in San Francisco and San Rafael, kind of my later years. Yeah. And then I went to Berkeley, so stayed local. I consider San Francisco my hometown. I always will be. I love it.
Me too.
Hate the haters.
So you're
hate the haters.
basically a local girl.
I
I'm a
agree.
local girl.
I hate the haters.
Yeah.
San Francisco is
Hate
an
the haters.
amazing city,
I
no
love
matter
that.
what.
Recently, there was a big convention. People go, what are people talking about? This is a great place.
Well, it was the Super Bowl. I think people were talking about how
the
beautiful
Super Bowl,
it was.
They
and
were just shocked. Like, we've heard nothing but, it's a war zone, and it's actually
so beautiful.
and everything is wonderful.
Yeah. No, it's an incredible city. So yeah, I benefit from that, and I've certainly done my share of travel, but I love being here. So I moved up to Sonoma County, I will say, around 9/11, kind of around that time. I mean, it wasn't because of 9/11, but
Going where there's no tall buildings.
it ended up being, it was just kind of one of those things, like the first couple .com booms had happened in San Francisco. A lot of our friends who were not in tech, we were not in tech, had left.
Yeah.
You know, it already seemed like a place you would never be able to buy a home of any kind.
Right.
Which now is probably hilarious. You know, looking back at what the prices
could
would have
have.
been around
Yeah,
then.
I know.
But so just we had some friends that were already living up in Healdsburg area, and we'd come up to escape the San Francisco fog, and just thought, like, what the heck? Like, let's just
I
try
think
it out.
what's nice here, among other things, is just proximity to everything. I mean, you can go to San Francisco as much as you want, and it's an hour to the coast and the redwoods. And I feel like I think of other places I would move to, but then I think, well, then it's like I wouldn't be able to get to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Really, it'd be a bigger effort. I mean, it's so easy now.
Yeah.
It's 15 minutes to the coast.
Yeah, well, from you.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean,
yeah.
even I live in Kenwood, and it's 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, incredible. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah, I think it's a good location. So when you do have some friends that come to town, are there certain things that you think, oh, we have to do this, we have to do that, or a new restaurant you've checked out?
Oh, yeah.
I get out nowhere, so
Oh, okay.
I like to get advice. Where should I go? If I had a life, what should I do?
Haven't you heard? Kenwood is like the new mecca of fine
I
cuisine.
have heard that, actually. There are some places.
We feel really blessed right now. That was not always true. So,
It's
yeah.
such a small little
I
area.
know,
I
You
know.
have like a embarrassment of riches.
I
Yeah.
know. I mean, it used to be anywhere you'd pick to go for dinner, like at least a 30-minute drive, let's say.
Right.
And now it's like, oh,
We can walk.
it's almost, or it's 2 minutes, you know? So yeah, I mean, restaurant-wise, I mean, Stella in Kenwood is like one of my favorite restaurants of all time. It's amazing. I've been there probably way too much. I think they recognize me now. And lunch is great. Dinner's great. I mean, it's fresh pastas. Like, everything they do is just really delicious.
Yeah.
And it's same team as Glen Ellen Star, which was always also a favorite. I think Glen Ellen Star got us through COVID. I mean, they just totally figured out early on
How to make it work.
and make it easy. And it was just like such a nice, like, chance to get outside and go pick up food and remember that the world still existed. And there was such care in that.
Yeah, that was a nice spot. I only went there on a press event one time, but it was great.
It's so great. So those two restaurants are certainly like just standbys. And then Golden Bear Station is another really fun, very, very high-end, sort of more technical restaurant by the team that had a little restaurant called Animo for about a year. That started kind of COVID era as well. So very inventive food, like great. Everything about it is great. And then they've started sort of a fun breakfast sandwich takeout kind of a deal.
That sounds
Wednesday
dangerous.
through Sunday.
Yeah, that's good.
Coffee, like really good coffee and breakfast sandwiches that are
yum.
sort of New York style. So that's just like you just order it on your phone.
Yeah, that
and
is a good,
go pick it up.
smart thing to do for restaurants, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. So those three are incredible. So I tell people to go to those. I mean, Salt and Stone is great too out there. I mean, beautiful outdoor seating. I think it's always a party, good happy hour, all that sort of thing.
Like Kenwood is one of those little overlooked.
Yeah, I don't think you would even know. You would
Spots.
drive by, yeah.
I think San Francisco Chronicle referred to it as sleepy.
Sleepy.
Yeah.
Sleepy.
When I moved to Healdsburg,
Mopey.
the year I moved, I think it was like, oh my gosh, I can't remember what magazine. They had written a whole article about this dusty little hamlet of Healdsburg. And I'm thinking, well, it's not that anymore.
No.
The dusty
Not
little
quite
hamlet.
dusty.
Wow.
It was like Newsweek or something. They talked about, the dirty old Ford trucks parked in front of the bakery, and you don't know who the guy is, but trust me.
Well, at least it sounds like they had maybe been there. Like what
Yes,
I
yes,
worry
no,
about
they have,
now
for sure.
is I'll read travel write-ups or food and wine write-ups of this area, and it
They
really
obviously haven't been here.
They haven't been here, or
Yeah.
they've cut and pasted from
They
other
did
things.
desk research.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
but-
yeah.
You know, speaking of the Chronicle, Esther Mobley's leaving.
Yes.
Are you
She's
gonna?
gone.
She's gone.
Yeah.
But who's filling that spot? Not you.
No, not me.
I didn't mean that derogatorily, but I mean, not you.
No, not me. I don't think that anything has been really announced
Yeah.
about that. I mean,
Because it's such an important position in
Yeah,
this
for
economy.
where they're at, if they don't replace that, it'll be discouraging.
yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
That's
is
what I'm-
like,
Well, their
pretty sure
travel
if-
section pretty much
is
folded.
gone.
So.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it seems like they've invested a good amount in their food coverage, and they have been putting good dollars toward wine coverage. But yeah, you wonder if you go from 2 reporters to 1, it definitely will impact that. So I don't know. I don't know if they know.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's such a landscape is in such a free fall.
Oh,
you know, and it's all about the dollars, and the content goes aside. That's not making the money for them. But that's such a huge part of our economy. So
Yeah.
it's, hopefully they'll fill it soon.
Well, yeah, because I think that is an audience that cares about wine.
Yeah,
for
Right.
sure.
absolutely.
Yes, that is an audience that cares.
And it's always been held like a really high standard. You know, it's very few people had full-time wine sections.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, increasingly. There was a time, it must have been before 2020. Esther was there about 10 years or so. So it was kind of like in that first 5 years or so, I think. They were doing winery tasting room reviews.
Oh, yeah.
And I was contributing to that. There were a lot of different people contributing to that. And that was actually a really fun way to get, I mean, it's another angle, right?
Right.
Like that's a really good way to get people out to the wineries because you're not reviewing the wine, but you're kind of reviewing the wine and the experience.
Yeah,
Right.
the experience.
Which is what Michelin's plan now. So
Oh, really?
well, Michelin, I think Michelin Guide is planning to cover wine in general. So, yeah, that's sort of the question is like, it will be maybe looking at winery tasting rooms, but also somewhat
In the
wines
same kind of
themselves.
criteria that they rate restaurants and
Okay, well, I just think that
Possibly.
sounds like a terrible idea. No offense.
so anonymous. I'll
Well-
sign up for that. I'm sure no one notices me.
Well, but everybody doesn't want that
It's a
experience
good
at a
way to pitch
winery.
yourself.
I
I'm
think
sure.
at a winery you want, a lot of people just want the funky, homegrown wine tasting experience.
But
They
that's
don't
a whole.
want
But
a
that
Michelin wine
doesn't
tasting experience.
necessarily mean it would be rated lower because we think Michelin the stars, but they also like Bib Gourmet. So it
Yeah,
could also
right.
be
Yeah, it could be
within
Bib.
a certain set of criteria that this is a wonderful experience, whether it be down home or high end. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I probably think it's a good thing because it gets people focusing on
People,
wine a little
they're
more.
familiar with
Yeah.
it.
It's a
you
big
know,
brand.
Michelin.
I
Yeah, it's a
mean,
big
Yeah, it's
brand.
a huge brand. It gives.
Yeah.
I think it does lend its clout to.
I think so too. And they've done a lot with hotels. So I think
Yeah.
maybe
Right.
it would follow a little bit. I don't know. It'd
Food
probably
and
be a
wine,
combination
yeah.
of,
It'll be interesting to see.
yeah.
So
So, yeah.
I'm gonna
So
go
there's that.
incognito
Okay,
as
I'm
a
gonna go.
Michelin.
I'm gonna go start
pretend
googling
you
that
are.
and look it up.
Yeah, that's
see.
even better.
Just make them think
Let
that
everyone
you
have your
are,
photo
right?
in the back.
There was some show I was watching that was literally called, I think, like Chasing a Michelin, and it was a look at all these different restaurants around the world that were either trying to keep their Michelin star or trying to get one for the first time, and the behind the scenes of that, crazy. I mean, and all the speculation from the staff when they do see like a solo diner, like, oh, that could be the Michelin
insane.
inspector, like so much thinking that goes around it to
Want
try
to
and
make
get
a
one.
restaurant nervous? Have a notebook, and
Right.
every time they put the plate down, you write something.
And sit alone,
And you,
right?
because when I travel, I'm always traveling alone, and and I'm just taking notes, whether it's for an assignment or not. So suddenly you're getting comped all sorts of crap because is everything okay? And you're alone, and except in Italy, I always say, "Oh, my husband, he'll be joining me soon," because you always get a lot of not good attention.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yes, there's that danger.
You don't have to go dancing afterwards. I'm like, no, it's okay.
Go dancing.
I think you should go dancing.
Yeah.
That was years ago. I was in Bellagio, and I was there alone. I was waiting for a friend, and there was just the best restaurant on, this little spit of land. And I went there every night because for the lake fish. And then he'd go, where is your husband? What are you doing? I go, you see that mountain up there? Him and his friend are climbing it.
hiking.
It was the Alps. He goes, that is. And so then my friend finally showed up, and they all knew me. She goes, what is going on? And I think, well, I've been here 3 nights in a row. It's the best place in town. And he goes, you have a beautiful friend. We go dancing. She just came to town, and I'm like, Marcella. I'm like, I'd only been there like 3 days, but
Everybody knows
that's
you.
300
There you were.
people. So
Yeah, get noticed. They know you're there.
yeah. But it is
For sure.
fun I think it's a good thing to have review for no matter what, because it gives more juice to, people should be paying attention to wine.
Yeah,
That's what I
So
feel.
there.
yeah. So what do you read usually? Like, how do you pay attention to wine?
I
mean,
follow you.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
Well, I read publications and, a lot of things the landscape has changed so much.
Yeah.
Right. So like what you read, it's always with a grain of salt, like really what's behind this, or especially in, your mainstream media publications, it's hard to know what's being what. We've all been asked to write those stories, and so it's with a grain of salt. So I would really look to independents, like people like you and other people, like the Jeb Dunnuck. That's a great article, the Unicorn Wine Review. All these kind of independents, like Substack has really become the place.
Yeah.
I love Simon Wolf. I follow him. I'm a big orange wine, aficionado.
Understatement.
Okay.
And he does a great job. And he wrote Amber Revolution, really great book. And he's, and I want someone's real opinion.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be
that they
clouded
paid
by
for. Right.
all this, overriding reasons for this publication to exist.
Yeah, no,
the
no doubt.
editorial board. So, I love the industry. I love wine, and I love reading about it. And when you read something really well written, it's exciting.
That's the thing.
It renews your interest in wine. Last year I went on this tour with Fred Swan's group, and I was just like, since Sonoma, I'm not going to do it. And I did it. I'm like, oh my God, I fell back in love with my backyard.
Yeah.
And it was like really good because you do get a little jaded. You do get a little.
You take things for granted,
Yes.
maybe. Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, I got so jazzed about it again. And it was like a really, really good thing to say, yeah, this is where I live. This is really great. And I really support the wine community. And we need to keep writing about it.
Yeah, no, we do. And if you think about early days of wine writing, some of the greats, they were travel, right? I mean, they were really travel stories.
Yes.
From Kermit Lynch to Johnson, as you mentioned, and it really was like I've gone on these back roads and met with these farmers, and then here's the third generation is making the wine now, and it was stories more about that.
It was a real discovery.
It was a story, right?
It was the discovery,
Yeah.
and then it became this was the journey, and I think some of the most prominent wine writers, yourself included, they came from travel. It was like a very interesting segue.
And it's still the reason to do it in my
Yeah,
mind, right? I mean, I don't ever want to be just sitting in a room tasting wine. Yeah, I mean, and I have had parts of my career where that was more or less what I needed to do. I mean, I would always go out and meet with people because how can you not? I mean, it's such a
That's the
social.
I want to be in the vineyard. I want to smell the air.
Yeah.
I want to look at the dirt. I want to feel
Have
the
conversations
air.
with people.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to be in that place. There's so much gained from that.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though it may seem esoteric, but yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Where in the world have you not been that you'd like to go?
South Africa.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
It's number one
let's
on
go.
my list right now.
go do some Shannon.
I mean, honestly, more for I'll sneak off to Namibia so I can just hang out with elephants and then see South Africa as well. But yeah, that's a big one for me. I don't know. I mean, certainly the wines, but like everything about it. Totally different culture, totally different place, totally different kind of farming. Mm-hmm. I just think it would be fascinating. It's, I mean, obviously it's a big trip, so you want to make it count and spend enough time.
Spend time.
Do you ever see, I mean, it's also because I'm obsessed with this documentary called Searching for Sugar Man.
Oh, I saw that. That was amazing.
Wasn't it amazing? And so it's a quite remarkable documentary about this, a guy that was a singer kind of in the 60s, 70s era. He was sort of he grew up in Detroit. He was sort of from the wrong side of the tracks, if you will, of Detroit, but had this beautiful singing voice and was kind of heralded for a minute or two like the next Bob Dylan. He was sort of almost a contemporary. And then disappeared off the face of the earth. I think substance abuse issues, poverty, like a lot of different things that he ended up just kind of disappearing off of the music side of the world. And they kind of 30, 40 years later find out that he's huge in South Africa.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And because some certain record promoters or DJs or something are playing his music all the time and talking about him. And
somebody discovered like a couple of tracks of his, and then they were in South Africa, and he just became this sensation.
He became this sensation, and I think there was also like these weird rumors that he had died on stage. Like there was all this folklore around him too that made it kind of mythical. But he eventually found out, or somebody found him and was like, you're giant in South Africa. And so they actually go. They go to South Africa for him to do a concert.
Yeah.
He was such a sweet, kind of unassuming guy too.
He was. But they show a lot of South Africa. They show a lot of them driving and meeting with these adoring fans that are
that is amazing.
Who knows? You may get there and you may be someone famous to them. You never know. It's like you've been waiting to go. It's like, oh, she's here.
She's finally arrived.
We're gonna have a parade.
That's hilarious. I don't think so.
Let's make that work. Let's make that happen.
I'm gonna start an underground write-in campaign.
Yes, oh my God.
We'll just start funneling
Our
all
next
your
project.
back articles to the papers.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't think that's going to work, but I wish you well.
They'll pay you to come.
It was fascinating. So that just furthered my interest in South Africa. I'm like, wow, what is possible
That's a
there?
good choice.
I know. I love that. I'm going to put that on my list to go watch. Now I feel like I'm missing the boat.
It's good. That's
good.
from like maybe 15,
What a good story.
20 years ago, maybe.
Oh, my gosh.
It's maybe not quite that old. It's maybe 10, 15.
Yeah, I
you're
mean, I
probably
have no
right.
idea how
Because
many
time's gone fast.
Yeah, time
but
is
I know.
weird.
I was just thinking the other day, it's like, what year is this? I'm like, and then I thought yesterday, I kept thinking it's August. I mean, the heat didn't help, but I kept thinking, wait, it's only March? Something's wrong.
or it's already March.
Yeah, it's already March.
Either way, February felt like 6 years, so I don't know. It's been a minute.
I think with working in wine, I get really confused because I'll be writing about
especially if you're
23
doing
vintage.
Yes, the vintages are
someplace.
Yeah, that's confusing.
And then I'll be like, I tasted these in 2025, and Jeb will be like, don't you mean 2026? I'm
You're like,
oh yeah,
I
I
don't
do.
know, maybe.
I do. I should probably check those dates. But yeah, so yeah, it is confusing. What were we doing?
We know where you're going to take your friends when they visit in Kenwood, but dare you leave the house and go to a winery and go drink wine? Maybe this is a politically incorrect question, but where would you go? Because you're
we won't
hard.
say it's a favorite, but just where would be what would be on your list?
Just for like
a couple
maybe
places.
the views or the vista or
So
wine
many
should be good
things.
too.
So many things. I always wonder. It's funny. Well, I'll go back and just say, all my years at Wine Enthusiast, and I was doing so much reviewing of Napa and Sonoma, as you said. The number one question I would get from both friends and total strangers was always like, where should I go? It wasn't what should I drink? It was like, where should I go? Right.
Yeah.
It's always
you
that's
want to see the
fundamentally
whole thing.
always
Right.
the question, pretty
Well,
much.
yeah. I mean, where should I go and what should I drink? But got to go to drink
Gotta
it.
go. I do love Ramsgate.
Oh, it's beautiful there.
I
Yeah.
love Ramsgate. I think that's a great visit for anybody, whether you love wine, just starting to get into wine, whatever they do. They're very regenerative focused, so there's a lot to be explained and learned from the vineyard. They have raptor, they have the birds.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, so there's a lot and a great food program. So you can kind of have it all. You can have the luxury, but also a real sense of place. So that's always a nice one, and people don't have to go as far if they don't have the time. There's so many. So I always wonder, like, what are you trying to get out of it? Is it like a couple of hours where you can be leisurely, or is it power tasting?
Kind of curate it to what their needs are, where they go.
I love Gunlock Bunchu. Always have. Like, go for a concert.
Oh yeah,
I
they
mean,
have such a good music program
Their
there.
music program is insane, and they still make. All their wines, I think, across the board are really well made, but they're also affordable.
I was
Yeah,
saying,
a lot of
they
them.
used to always be really
Great,
affordable. Yeah,
A lot of them are. And in that same camp, I would say Klein. Klein's a great visit. Nice, sprawling kind of garden.
You could do all three of those,
You
know,
could.
Yeah, they're
in
all
a day.
pretty close. Yeah.
You could. And you should.
So there you have your custom
there you go.
itinerary.
One and done.
Yeah. And then, one of my favorite places in Sonoma County is Beltane Ranch. It's not as much a winery.
Oh my gosh.
But
Again, I went there for a press event.
incredible place. They hold a lot of events.
Yeah.
So if
That's close to
have
you.
the chance, it's very close
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, that's a cool
It's
spot.
stunning. It's family run. They do make some wine, but look out for their events because it's a beautiful historic place.
Yeah, they do some really nice things there. That is a great spot.
Yeah. So if I'm thinking of like kind of that part of Sonoma County, it's always fun to go through Dry Creek.
Yeah.
So many different spots you can hit.
And such an easy drive,
Easy drive.
Everything's right there. And
Beautiful sense of place, too.
so what are you, I was going to say lately, and without naming names, what are you drinking lately? Like, what are you leaning towards? And you
Chardonnay.
don't need Chardonnay, is that your go-to?
Yeah.
You're
That's funny.
Chardonnay. Yep.
That was quick.
I like whites.
Yeah, me too.
I drink a lot of whites. I taste a lot of reds, and I drink reds. It depends. But
That's
I
a huge trend now.
really love whites.
Whites
Yep.
have really taken over.
And everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, Spain too. I mean, they're the whites
Well,
that are
there's
being
so
made
much,
in
there's
Spain.
so much energy in
good.
the whites these now. Whites used to be like an afterthought, it seems, for a lot of people. But now I just I just love all the different varietals that you can have, and it's very exciting. And
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it depends on time and.
I've
Yeah.
always leaned towards white wine, always.
really,
But then I think now, do more people do it because we're all aging up? Either
I
don't
think-
drink
I
or they
think
drink
it's-
whites.
I think it's just because there's a lot more exciting stuff going on for me in white wines. There's a lot more energy and excitement. Some of these smaller winemakers that are doing it in a garage, they're making some really fascinating, fun wines, and I just think they're just very quaffable and easy.
I think the movement is being very much driven by younger
you do.
generation. I mean, Albarino and Godeo in Spain is
Yeah.
on fire. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's gigantically growing, and that's in wine bar settings. I think it's also aperitif. Like,
Right.
it's just sort of fits a lot of people's lifestyle a little bit easier to just it's a little lower alcohol, maybe it's a
Easier
little
pairing
fresher.
for people new to wine. It's like I think younger people are driving the white revolution for sure in wine.
Well, and you think of how different we eat than maybe 30, 40 years
Right.
ago as well. So certainly that much more diversity of cuisine.
Yes.
Lighter cuisine, more international.
Spicy,
Yes,
like
spice.
lots of different things happening. So I think white wine fits that too.
Yeah, we're not all steak and potato.
Right.
Right.
Not
It's
all
changed.
Ruth Chris's
It's
steakhouse.
changed. Yeah. S apostrophe S. I don't know.
What the heck is with that
I don't
name?
know.
I see that
It's worked for them.
driving by, and it literally makes me cringe. I somehow have some kind
like,
of
"Fix that."
autistic reaction to it.
Yeah, I think I'll choose. It is what is that about? Should we research that? That
I
seems like
think
there's a story
I
there.
think I do know the story that it was named something else, and then this other partner came in, but it was the Chris's entity, so it had to be Ruth Chris's steakhouse.
Does it have anything to do with Babe Ruth?
Yeah, because they used to do the deep fried Babe Ruth candy bars as a dessert. And
Really?
No.
I'm like, that's amazing.
She's quick.
That would be amazing.
Spend a weekend with her.
Yeah. I don't even
You
think
never
they-
know what's
I
true
don't
and
think
what
they
isn't
make
true.
the Baby Ruth.
And
No,
I'm so
it has
gullible.
nothing to do with that.
Baby
I
Ruth.
always believe
and
her.
then that's just Caddyshack, the natural progression.
It is a natural progression. It's just the way my brain thinks.
Yeah.
Spins.
You know how she can write about anything because there's so many strings. My head is a ball of yarn. I've got so many strings and tangents. So I don't sleep. Tangents.
I think all of our brains are that way now. I mean, partly it's the modern world, it's phones, it's constant
Overstimulation.
everything. Yeah, so
Just
many
all
different
too
things.
much input.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of insane. Like, I'll sort of stop once in a while and be like, what? I was just reading about this, and then all of a sudden I'm reading about this, and like, those two things should not be together.
same. Yeah,
Right?
in the
Like,
same.
we're so torn. Like, you read something that's really sad and tragic or meaningful, and then you go to like, oh, what wines pair with cats? You're
Well,
like,
yeah.
my brain, no wonder our brains can't
Right.
function.
What wines do pair of cats? Well, Sauvignon Blanc
Yeah,
would come to mind.
I think sparkling.
New Zealand. Meow, meow, yeah.
So yeah, whites are put a check box in white varietals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Sonoma County is perfectly poised for that too,
Yes,
right?
with our climate and the change, and people are really embracing a lot of Italian varietals and all these things
definitely
that
the
grow
Italians
so
and the
well
Rhones,
here.
Right.
But yeah,
More, just more.
more is more.
More whites. But I do love reds too.
Okay, anything else we need to cover?
So give us the deets on the good stuff.
Yeah, and where people can find it and see it,
where do
and
we,
how often
where
it
do we
comes out.
tune in our bat channels?
Well, and the blog. I like the read it.
Yes, the
written-
weekly good stuff stories come out on Wednesdays, usually in the morning. It's a newsletter, so people sign up for that, as well as usually it shows up on Wine Business or
Yep.
it gets
Kinda gets
tagged different
syndicated a
places.
bit.
Yep, social media as well. So
So-
that's good.
And is the URL just thegoodstuff.com, or
It's
how would they
through
find
Sonoma
it?
County Wine
That's what
Growers,
I thought.
and then it's on, so Sonoma
Okay.
Wine Grape, and then there's a whole category for good
Okay.
stuff.
People have to find it. I mean, it really is so good.
Oh.
I read so little because I get so inundated.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't read everything, and I can't read everything on the Win Network, and I get
yes,
kind of
right.
sidetracked. But there's so much, and I just think, forget it. But I always read what you write because it's about such a variety of topics every time, and I'm always interested, and I always learn so much.
Well, that's nice
I mean,
to
it's
hear.
really
She
great
does it all
topics.
for you, Beth.
I know. I think so.
Well, now I picture you because,
I do
You're
love
supposed
it.
to visualize your audience. while
as
you
writers,
write.
It's
you
so
often
good.
don't get feedback. Like, you don't know if anybody's
You
reading.
never
Oh, I know.
hear a
Yeah,
word.
exactly. Exactly. Like,
So the
me to
genesis
ask?
for the title, The Good Stuff, I'm guessing it's not from when in Better Call Saul, Kim has an accident, and they offer her Tylenol or the good stuff, and she says, always the good stuff.
no.
Of course, that's
That's where it
the
came
genesis.
from. That's
of
what I
course.
thought. That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
I am
Tylenol
Beth.
or the good
I
stuff.
am Beth, yeah. No, it came out of a TED Talk that Karissa Kruse actually did. She lost her home in
I
2017.
remember that. I've seen that. Yeah.
Right.
Ah.
So she lost her home in 2017 to
Right.
the fires,
I remember.
and then did a whole TED Talk kind of about this notion of after such loss, don't wait.
Yeah, we're saving the good stuff.
Yes.
For
Yeah,
don't
what?
save the good
don't
stuff.
wait.
Yeah.
Whether it be wine, whether it be an
Yes.
outfit, whether it be time with people, like whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that she really talked a lot about during that. And so when we were thinking about putting together this weekly newsletter storytelling, it's like, well, let's just call it the good stuff.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Kind of the same idea. And it was also an attempt to kind of tell the happier stories, to take a little bit more of a positive spin on wine, because there
We
were
need
so
some
many
happy
negative,
stories. Yeah.
negative takes. And sure, there are challenges and there are things that everybody is trying to do better or different or adapt, but like there's a lot of good.
Yeah, there's a lot of good. I mean, nobody wants to tune in a show called The Crappy Stuff.
No. We sometimes joke that we're going to do like an underground radio show called
yeah.
the dark stuff,
Trust
or
me.
the bad stuff.
Trust me. We always
Underbelly.
talk about our
Yeah.
podcast.
The
What else can we
Dark
talk about?
belly, underbelly.
Yeah. I mean, the bad stuff, and we'll have disguised voices, and somehow we'll tell the bad
That's
stuff.
my next
stories.
chapter.
It's an important concept now more than I was saying to my husband the
Yeah.
other day. You're always worrying about. You can have enough money to live out your life.
Right.
And now I'm saying I'm more worried running out of time than running out of money.
Yeah.
Right.
Run out of time is more precious.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think that's the take, right?
soon
Like,
you'll see us on the street, but
It's hard. It's a hard thing because I knew about the TED Talk and Chris's, and I think that seems so obvious, but it's hard to get to that point.
It's hard to live that way.
It's hard to
every
live that way.
day,
I mean,
but-
because I have plenty of things that I don't. I mean, my husband asks every night if he could open a bottle of wine. Can I open this one? I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
But a lot of it
We're always
was
saving it for
was-
something.
Yes.
I'm like, what am I
Like,
saving it for?
Right. Yeah. Well, and we sort of end our show always with a Tuesday night wine. Like, what are you
Yeah.
pulling out? And,
Right.
And it doesn't have
Something
to be
fun.
something. It can be something
Right.
special. Why
Yeah.
isn't it something
Right.
special? I mean,
Yeah.
why not? If you're with the people you want to be with and
Right.
having the food you want to eat, and all things considered are okay.
Right.
Why not?
that's like the other day I have I had bought a case of the Iron Horse, Year of the Horse. I just been opening them left and right.
Yeah.
because
not?
Trying to
they're
get through
so
this.
good. It's my husband's not drinking right now for medication reasons, but it's just such a pleasure.
Right.
It's a small pleasure, and we
Right.
really need to lean into those little small moments that just make everything so much nicer.
Right.
The little pleasures,
Treat yourself.
the little,
Yeah.
the good
Yeah.
stuff, and the little tiny joys.
You're our target audience.
Right.
But yeah,
I have
treat
a big
yourself.
target
Exactly.
right here.
Yeah. Anything
So-
Parks and Rec related. Yeah. Treat yourself.
But I'm always telling myself,
But it's nice to kind of occupy that space, right? Like, how can we tell positive stories? How can we get people that, there are sometimes sad parts of people's good stories, but
right.
that's okay too.
That's what makes the
That's
story.
okay too,
But
right?
it's the struggle of the human
Yeah.
is also, it's
Well, that makes it
story
more
of man.
relatable. Makes it more
Nothing is
relatable.
easy.
Perseverance and
Yeah.
adaptation.
Yeah.
Perseverance. That's the story of my life. I'm so exhausted. Oh, well, perseverance.
resilience.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That's a Sonoma County story, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Is that one of their mottos?
No, but I mean, I think certainly over the course of the fires, there was a lot
Yeah.
of Sonoma Strong, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so, you know,
Yeah.
kind of like how, we as a community can come together and do
Right.
good things out of bad
Right.
things.
And
You know,
resilience is a very important quality
Yeah, yeah.
to possess. It's time for our Fast Five. Who do we have on the line now?
This is Jacob from Mounds Family Winery.
Hey,
Ooh,
Jacob.
Nice.
Good to hear from you. So what's your Fast Five?
So, this is a classic dish that we'd have at my family's house. Very easy. Whipped ricotta and marinated tomatoes. It's about some ricotta cheese, garlic, clove, garden tomatoes, fresh basil, and to finish it off with a rustic French baguette.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how do you put that together?
So usually just you throw it in a bowl with the ricotta and the garlic. You want to whip that until it's smooth and creamy. And then spoon the ricotta onto your baguette slices, top with the marinated cherry tomatoes, drizzle with a little bit of tomato olive oil, and
Oh,
garnish
tomato
with
oil.
fresh basil.
Nice. And what do you usually pair that with?
This goes amazing, actually, with the Italian affair.
Oh, I believe that was one of our
We
favorites.
have that back when you were on the show.
Yeah.
That was like that has gone down in infamy.
Yes,
that
that was
wine.
it. Yeah, that was memorable. A memorable morning.
That would be a great pairing.
So it's usually almost an everyday thing at the house. So.
All right.
Well, I love that because living here, everyone has basil in their backyard and tomatoes.
Yeah, got to go with what's local.
Yeah,
Wanted
exactly.
to find a recipe where you could, get these ingredients
together
locally
quick.
Yeah.
easily.
All right. Well, we'll put that in the show notes so people can enjoy that. And thank you for being on our Fast Five.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I do have a couple things I have
do
to
you?
mention. I know it's a big surprise.
All right. Can I just relax?
Yeah, you can relax.
You can sweep
You
up.
can, you can, you can.
I didn't know there was labor
We can go wash our
involved.
cars now.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's part of the guest
I
wash
just
our
got
car.
home from Eureka.
Can't
There's
wait.
a lot of bugs.
Can't wait. You're not going to be happy with
But
my
you
work.
know what we didn't have today? We didn't have wine. This
I
is
know.
like a first.
I know.
Someone dropped the wine ball.
I know. I thought about it this morning, but I was running out the door. Okay, so I did just want to mention quickly that this weekend is the passport to Dry Creek, and I'm sure there's still some certain level of ticket options that are available for this weekend if you're a last-minute person. So you could find out all the details at drycreekvalley.org. So not .com, .org. Drycreekvalley.org, and you're looking for the passport to Dry Creek. That's this weekend. And then for the Wine Road, we have one of our little one-day wine trails coming up on May 16th. So it's just a one-day event. It's $50, 20 wineries, walk-in tastings, no reservations. We cannot make it easier for you. Go online, you order your ticket, and then you go to the participating wineries. Just show them your ticket on your phone. There's a program online at wineroad.com that shows you the wines that they'll be pouring. So if you have something in particular you're looking for, it's all listed right there. And, this nice warm weather in May, the focus is white wines and rosés and sparklings. So check it out, the Spring Wine Trail and the Passport to Dry Creek. That's it. I have
right.
nothing else.
So we'll put those in the show notes. We'll put where to listen to the good stuff and a link to your blog and put that all in there.
No kidding. That's where they can find the blog. I write the show notes.
Yeah.
Da,
Feel
da, da,
free.
da.
Feel free to include it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no extra charge.
It's a little slow this morning. Okay, I think that's it.
All right. Thanks so much for being here. It was fun to see you.
It was so great.
Thank you.
It was so great. I
feel
like I'm.
Virginie was one of the first writers in Writing Between the Vines.
That's right.
really?
Yes,
First
yeah.
person. She stayed out at
Arista.
back when Arista
Oh my
was there
gosh.
on Jackass Hill, I
Yeah,
think it was
yeah.
placed. So that was like in 2012.
So you should say what Writing Between the Vines is for people who are interested, who may be writers on their own.
Well,
Give us a little pitch.
it's a writing retreat program that places writers on vineyard properties in Sonoma County.
Yeah, it's.
And we have
can you
once a
imagine?
year, we have an open applications. They just closed. So we're going to have the retreats this year in April. We moved from February, used to be a little too dicey with
Little
the
nippy.
weather.
Little nippy.
And people,
Little nippy,
people would often not be able to get if we had
Yeah, they
floods
can't leave.
in February.
Yeah, right.
And most of our properties are kind of isolated and out there. So we've moved it to April, which should be quite nice for our
Beautiful.
riders. We have a whole 6 riders this year coming in April.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah. And Virginie was our first.
I was the guinea pig.
She was
I passed.
very
I
thankful
passed.
for that. Yes.
Marcy's like, okay, we can do this.
You know, it's funny. You'll get riders sometimes, and Motion is one of our hosts, and people will call me like, it's so dark out here. Like, we get a lot of people from
yeah.
Brooklyn applying and a lot of riders.
Yeah, there's no noise.
And, like, it's really dark.
There's no ambulances or fire. There's no sirens.
It's very scary. I hear things.
Oh my God!
I
Right?
hear things.
It's like, it's okay. You're going to be fine.
I hear
I
things.
can hear my brain working.
Because it is a big surprise how, dark it is in wine country
That's
at
really
night.
funny.
They could go outside and see the actual stars.
So I really
no
set
light.
people's expectations now of what to expect.
Right.
You're far from anything, but it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And so it's been good. It's been 14 years
long
now.
time.
Impressive.
Almost.
Yeah.
Well done.
So yeah,
It's amazing.
what was I thinking?
Okay, I think that's it.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for
It
being
was
here.
super fun.
Thanks for having me.
Super fun.
We'll see you on the wine road.